Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Today we're diving into Fantastic Four Volume 7, Issue number 29. A game-changing issue where Doctor Doom isn't just ruling Latveria, he's ruling the world. And get this, he's got the power of the Sorcerer Supreme. Now, we're living in a world where Doom controls everything. And the scariest part, people are actually accepting it. But there's still hope, because the Fantastic Four never back down from a fight. Let's get into it. The world had changed in a moment. One declaration, one proclamation from the man in the iron mask, and everything the Fantastic Four thought they knew was upended. Victor Von Doom, now wielding the mantle of powers of the Sorcerer Supreme, did what he had always longed for. He crowned himself ruler of the entire world, declaring Earth a united Latveria. According to Doom, every world leader had willingly abdicated their thrones, surrendering authority to his singular rule. And with that, Doom promised peace, prosperity, and a better future for all. But the Fantastic Four weren't so easily convinced. Susan Storm, the Invisible Woman, stood at the precipice of it all, watching, waiting, thinking. It had been a week, just 1 week, since Doom's ascension. They had done exactly what he had predicted. Gathered Earth's mightiest heroes and stormed Latveria, only to fail spectacularly. Now, life under Doom's reign continued as if nothing had changed. Families still ate dinner together. Children played in the streets. Businesses opened their doors every morning. Yet everywhere she turned, his presence loomed. His banners, his words, his will. It all felt disturbingly normal. Susan needed a break, and she wasn't the only one. Ben Grimm, her dear friend, saw how much the weight of failure pressed on her shoulders, so he dragged her back to New York for a day away from it all, joined by their old friend, Jennifer Walters, the sensational She-Hulk. They met in a cafe, laughter momentarily pushing the weight of Doom's empire aside. Jennifer was glowing, happily recounting her budding relationship with Jack. Life, in its small moments, still flourished despite the madness of the world. But even in these quiet corners, Doom's influence remained. When the waitress overheard their conversation, her face twisted with disgust, not at Doom himself, but at a new enemy he had so carefully crafted: vampires. During the blood hunt, these creatures had nearly brought civilization to its knees. Now, with Doom's iron grip tightening around the world, he directed fear and hatred towards them. They weren't victims in the public's eye. They were monsters, and monsters had to be eradicated. The truth of this became all too real when the trio left the diner and found a vampire family in the streets, pleading for their lives as an angry mob encircled them. The father, driven by starvation, had resorted to devouring a pigeon in desperation. The crowd roared in fury. "They're vampires. Kill them. Stop protecting monsters who don't deserve to live." Susan's force field was the only thing keeping the family alive. But reason was a thin shield against the tide of fear. Someone in the crowd accused her of being a traitor. Wasn't her own husband, Reed Richards, part of the war against these creatures? Hadn't her brother Johnny Storm slain them by the dozens in Arizona? How dare she stand in the way now? Then it happened. A boy, no older than 10, wrapped in a Latvian flag like a hero's cape, stepped forward. Before anyone can react, he drove wooden stakes through the vampire parents' hearts. The children screamed. The crowd cheered. "You were too much of a vampire lover to do it yourself, Invisible Woman." The world had changed, and now Susan saw just how deeply Doom's poison had seeped into the hearts of ordinary people. The chaos followed them home. The orphan vampire children were left in Reed's care. One of them, a girl named Brooke, looked up at him with wide, frightened eyes. "Can you fix me, Mr. Fantastic?" she pleaded. "Me and my brother, because I think we're broken in the same way." Reed, ever the scientist, dove into his work. If vampires suffered because of their need to feed, then he would eliminate that need. With unyielding determination, he crafted a synthetic substitute plant-based globins designed to mimic hemoglobins. The children devoured the formula, and for the first time, their hunger faded. It was a victory, however small. With Reed's discovery, vampires no longer had to feed on the living. Doom's propaganda, his fear-mongering, his villainizing of an entire species was shattered in a single night. The Fantastic Four had finally won something. But as they walked the streets of New York once more, Ben's unwavering optimism clashed against the dark reality. Folks are all the same, whether they're vampire or human. They're fundamentally good, he insisted. Is that optimism, Ben? Jennifer asked. It ain't optimism, Jenny. It's just facts. People will see through Doom's lies, and when they do, all of this will fall apart. As they parted ways, Susan pondered his words. Maybe Ben was right. Maybe Doom had taken over the world, but not its people. Maybe, just maybe, the tide would turn. Then she saw them. Her neighbors. The same people she passed every day. The ones she'd exchanged pleasantries with. Now their yard was covered in signs. Doom is the way. Believe in Doom. Only Doom can save us. Trust in Doom. The world hadn't just changed. The people had changed with it. And Susan Storm could only watch as the dream of resistance slipped further away. And there you have it. In this issue, Doom's rule tightens its grip, using fear and propaganda to control the masses. The Fantastic Four try to take a break but end up witnessing firsthand how far Doom's influence has spread, especially in the way vampires are being scapegoated. But despite all odds, Reed Richards pulls off a huge win, creating a formula that allows vampires to survive without feeding on blood, effectively dismantling one of Doom's strongest fear tactics. But as Sue Storm realizes, this fight isn't over. Doom might just be a man, but his hold on the people is growing stronger every day. Will they wake up before it's too late? What do you guys think? Can the Fantastic Four turn the tide, or is Doom's role here to stay? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe for more comic recaps. Until next time, peace.